my name is Bianca from the Ukrainian Actors and Actresses fandom. Today, in the new episode of Vertical Voices, I have another actor in here. So, welcome, Marcus Kelly Curtis.
Hello, hello. So happy to be here.
I'm happy too. Actually, you was a recommendation of Michaela from Let's Talk About Verticals. And that's great. It's always great to talk to insiders. Maybe before we going deeper into our conversation, maybe you introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Well, like you said, I'm Marcus Kelly Curtis. I am based in Vancouver, BC. I was lived all over Canada playing hockey in my youth. And then when my career ended, I ended up traveling the world for about 10 years. And when that finished up, I was about to go to school for neuroscience. I was going to go chase a PhD. And my mother reluctantly said, "Go to film school for a year. You're born to do this." And I said yes. And it was the third or fourth day I was at film school, and I called her and I thanked her for showing me what I should be doing. And then ever since I graduated in 2020, I've been pursuing the dream and found verticals last year, and I've just fallen in love with this industry.
Welcome to the club.
Happy to be here.
No, but I must admit, I've been once in Canada, in Calgary. And you said you played hockey. I was able to watch once a game in Calgary of the Calgary Flames versus Montreal Habs.
The Canadians, the habitants.
Yep. Because my
Mm.
ex-boyfriend lived in Calgary, so he took me to the hockey game.
Did you like it?
It was cool. He just it was a little bit embarrassing if they had a break and they had the games with a audience. He screamed all over, "Hey, my girlfriend is from Germany. Come here, come here."
You're just in the crowd hiding away. Don't do this.
I
Don't
don't
do
know
this.
him. I'm not
Yeah.
here. No, no, that was funny. But in Germany here, I used to work in the security business and I worked for a hockey team here. It's not a professional hockey team, but I did the security for a hockey team.
I won't screw around. I don't want to get punished by the former security here.
Oh, come on. You are a hockey player. You know what to do.
Hey, I just look tough. I'm soft. I am a little baby when it comes down to it.
No, it's always funny to see if they're starting to fight on the ice. And
Well, that's how my career ended, was a fight. I got my skull fractured.
ooh, the refs didn't jump in and stop it.
Well, that's actually how it happened. It was a terrible fight. Nobody really won, and we got separated. And I went to go look around the ref to see where the guy was, and as I did that, his fist came and cracked me. And you can kind of see there's a dent. There's like a dent in my forehead still. Oh,
Oops.
at one point there was just a hole, and I had no idea what happened. I kept playing, and then my girlfriend at the time tricked me, and she took me to the emergency room, and they did all the scans you can think of, and they told me that I could die at any moment with a brain chip. My skull could chip and hit my brain, and so that sort of ended things for me.
How do you say it? I guess you won the jackpot.
Depends who you ask, right? If I was still playing hockey, I wouldn't be here. So I have won the jackpot.
In this way, yes, we won the jackpot. Not you, but we. Oh, you too. You too. You came into this
I'm
business.
happy to give the jackpot to you. I'm happy.
At least a jackpot, even if it's not in a financial way. But
Any jackpot's good, right?
the lottery win would be cool too. But to have you on screen as well, very good. No,
Not even close. I'm picking the lottery at 100 times out of 100.
maybe some others in this business win the financial jackpot. The apps, the production company.
They're winning the jackpot.
Unfortunately, not you as an actor.
Not yet.
We will come there, definitely. Now, in how many verticals did you act at so far?
Like I said, last year I started in April with my first one, and I wrapped 11 on the year. And then this year I'm trying to double that. That's my goal.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great.
They're so much fun. Well, they lend themselves to my sports background so well because they're super fast paced and you have to come prepared. Nobody's going to hold your hand through anything. We
Yeah.
don't get a whole lot of time to explore these. So if you're not ready to do the work before you get to set, you will be exposed. And I love that.
And if you talk about your sport background, recently there are a lot of sport verticals.
Yeah.
Right now, there are a lot of ballerina verticals, but we had hockey, American football, and so on verticals and tennis. If you actors can skate, that would be
Oh yeah.
cool because you can't always use a stunt double.
I haven't seen a stunt double in verticals yet. I personally love doing stunts, so I wouldn't even.
Let's say it this way. I guess in some really dangerous scenes, they had maybe one or another someone on set. But usually you actors are doing it yourself, but which is actually pretty dangerous because if you're shooting a stunt scene on day 2 and you get hurt, what you gonna do if you can't act no more?
Well, I actually, funny enough, the last one I wrapped at the end of the year, I had to take a fall from a hit, and I ended up bruising my rib. But I'm too proud to tell people I get hurt, so I just mustered through. I I told them at the end. I said, "Hey guys, by the way, I bruised my rib on the third day."
And if you get bruised, hey, think about you have to think about it in this way. Others have to spend a lot of money to get colorful clothes.
Exactly. Glass always half full, right?
I'm getting, for example, pretty easy bruises since I did a Krav Maga. It's a martial art.
Ooh, probably.
At this time, I used to work as a project assistant in a construction business, and my office been directly on the construction site of 20,000 square feet. And we've been only 2 females and 90 guys on this construction site. And I went twice a week to practice. And
Mhm.
my trainings partners, because I love to practice with the guys, not with the girls, because with the guys I could really do something. With the girls, I always had to be a little bit careful. But if they tried to hold me during the practice, and you could always see the
Where
hand
they were when you.
and all the construction workers on site, they said, "Oh my God, do you have an abusement boyfriend at home? We coming with you. We beat him up." And I said, "No, it's fine. You need to see the other one." And I'm refreshing those bruises twice a week, so it's all good.
But you know what? Hey, good for those guys for stepping
Yeah,
up. That's awesome.
definitely, definitely. And I just started to doing it because of my side job as in a security business and as a bouncer. I needed to know what's happening, or if something happening during our work, how I can defend myself, or if I
Mhm.
have to step in a fighting. So I needed to know how it's feel, what I can do. That's why I started it, and luckily I never had to use it because, or not luckily, sometimes actually sad because my colleagues always pushed me in the second row and didn't let me do anything. But that's why, for example, in those verticals, if I see fight scene or I always sit here and say, okay, okay, let me get in there. I want to do that too. Come on, let me do it.
I got to do a boxing one in the summer, and we spent a whole day on the fight scenes, and it was the most fun I've had on set.
I started watching it yesterday. It was, isn't it with Kirby and JJ?
Kirby and JJ, it was a good time.
I just didn't have the time to finish it, but I started to watching it, and I mean it's different. If you hit someone, you have to hit or across the face so you don't hit it. During the practice, when you do in martial arts, you are not really hitting, kicking, or whatever. You stop before, but it's differently to movies. But I would love to learn that and would love to do it if I wouldn't be so lazy and wouldn't be so unfit.
Well, that's the
Oh,
beauty of making movies is you don't have to be the person. You just got to look like the person. As long you don't have to be fit. You just got to
yeah,
act like
but
you're fit.
for example, if you're doing kicks, you
Oh,
need
you
to
just
be
need one
warm. You
take. You
need
just
to,
need one take.
but I was surprised. We were preparing one event where I've been a bouncer. It was Oktoberfest and it was a high risk event because of too much alcohol. I practiced with my boss and coach kicking. We had the low kicks, the kicks around the hips, and then the high kick. And I was surprised just because I was warmed up and I was had enough of stretching. I almost hit him on his head. So I was
Oh,
surprised that I could do that. No, but for you, at least you need to be a little bit. You're not. You need to be fit, but you also need to be stretched out so you can do something like that. Because you
mhm.
can't kicking and getting your foot high enough without practicing for before.
No, no, that's how you're gonna rip your groin in half for sure.
The good thing is I'm hyper flexible with my movements. So
Mm.
usually, if you're doing a low kick, you have to, if you're standing like this, you always have to move this feet. Because if you're not doing it, you can break your ankle. But I
Mhm.
could let my feet like this because I was so flexible. It didn't hurt.
That's cheat code.
Yep. Now, in this boxing movie, I have to finish it. Did you had to fight there too, or you being the guy who spiked the water on the beginning, right?
Like the water, and we have a really good battle scene at the end of the movie with some satisfying ending.
Ooh,
That's what I'll say.
I have to watch it. Like I said, I just watched it until Kirby got arrested
Hmm.
because she
Oh,
said she
you get
did
to
it.
see the whole interrogation scene and everything. Oh
I
yeah.
have to go there. I didn't have the time yet because right
What?
now
Yeah.
I'm recording a few episodes for Vertical Voices, and I have to do so much for the fandom, so I didn't have the time yet.
Like
I'm getting
millions.
there.
I don't blame you. There's too many of these things. You guys, I don't know how you guys keep up with all of them.
Sometimes I'm wondering if my day have maybe more than 24 hours, but unfortunately, no. But anyway, I assume you played mostly the villain, or did you had some other role?
I have one where I was a good guy coming out soon, I think. It's like a little
Ooh.
rom-com that I got to work with Carly Charters and Amanda Weir. And the three of us, we've worked together on a few of them now, and our chemistry is really good. They're so much fun to work with, and I'm really looking forward to that one because A, everyone gets to see me be a nice guy for once, but
We
B,
want to recognize you.
no, I don't think anyone will, to be honest with you. I think they're going to be shocked.
Now, what is easier for you to play the villain or to play the nice guy?
Oh, the villain. It's that's I was an angry kid growing up. I have a lot of experience in playing.
It's kind of like therapy,
In a sense,
a scripted therapy.
a little bit. I get to kind of relive some memories and kind of work through them on screen.
Oh Lord. No, but I always say I love to see actors acting in different kind of roles because
Mhm.
that shows me what they are able to do. Because if you're always playing the billionaire CEO or always a villain and always the same kind of role, you're still doing a good job, but some point it's getting boring because I want to see what you are
Okay.
able to.
Full
And
step.
and especially as a villain, if I'm watching a vertical and I'm starting to hate someone in this movie, it's the best compliment.
That's what I look for. I love when people tell me that they hated me on screen. That's my favorite thing to hear.
As
Ooh, you were
long
so
as
creepy and you were so nasty. Oh, thank you so
yeah,
much. I try
no,
not to be like that in real life, but what happens?
it's happened. Oopsie. No, but as long as the fans can make the difference between your character and your real you.
Oh,
Some
real
people
me
have
is a bit
problems
of
with that.
I'm a bit of a weirdo goofball in real life. I think when people meet me in real life, they're a little bit confused.
Oh, I love that. We see it already now. We are laughing a lot, and I like
Yeah.
that. Life is hard
Try not
enough.
to take, I try to have
No,
fun.
and especially it's good if you can laugh about yourself.
Oh, that's my favorite thing to laugh about. I'm a loser, but I'm proud of it.
Not many can say that, but
Yeah, or admit it. Maybe they can say it, they just won't admit it.
that's true. The reputation could be get a cut.
I have a big ego, but not in that sense. I could care less what people think of me. As long as they're watching and they're happy and they're entertained, I've done my job.
That's great. But in this case, you shot so far only in Canada or already in the States or
Just in
somewhere else?
Canada, I'm slowly building some networks overseas, and hopefully in the next few months I can pick up a gig. But just in Vancouver exclusively. I can't believe how many productions are here all the time.
In Vancouver is the main part of the verticals which are shot in Canada, right?
I don't think there's a lot in Toronto, and I don't know of any other provinces really. Maybe some in
Yeah,
Calgary or Alberta, but Vancouver, I think, is the main hub. We bring a lot of LA people up for our productions as well. So
I know. For example, Volodymyr Pelech, who is a member of my fandom, he been a few times in Vancouver to shoot there.
it's a great city to shoot movies in because there's just so much environment. We have mountains, we got forests, we got city, we got sea, we got suburbs, we got everything here. It's
Yeah,
my like I'm not originally from Vancouver, but it's what I call home now. I love it here.
home is where you feel.
And I've never lived in a city until I moved here 2 years ago. And I love living in a city. I love the chaos, the noise. I love it all.
You grew up or lived always in a village?
Somewhat. I bounced around quite a bit. I lived in a town called Kelowna in the interior of BC until I was about 7. And then my family, we up and moved to Ontario. Then my parents split and I moved to Vancouver Island for a lot. And then when I started playing hockey more seriously at a higher level, I was living with the families that lived in the towns that I played in.
Mhm.
So I lived with other families growing up, and I lived in a lot of small towns in Canada, which was a great education in humanity. I got to see a wide variety of people.
While I've been in Calgary, unfortunately, the dad of the roommate of my now ex-boyfriend, he didn't knew that I'm there. If he would recognize that earlier, he would invite me to Banff because they had a chalet over there. But unfortunately, I couldn't go there. And
No.
from the Calgary Tower, you could see the Rocky Mountain. It was very, very beautiful. I like that a
I
lot.
lived in Calgary for about a summer and a half or something. I was working construction. That was another city I loved. The people there, this everything. It's beautiful.
It's a long time ago. It was in the year 2000, 2001.
Oh,
So
right. I was there in 2012, so we just
yeah,
missed each other.
it was it was just close. No, but there are some great landscapes in Canada, and someday I will come back and see more because I only seen the airport of Montreal because I had a stopover, and then I've been in Calgary.
We got
But
to
it's
bring you
very
back. We got to bring you back.
definitely someday I will be there. No, but you said maybe you can shoot soon in Europe.
Oh, all I need is the offer. I'm on a plane tomorrow if I got an offer.
Maybe there are a lot of production companies in UK. They have a few, and they shoot here in Lithuania, in Istanbul, in Italy.
Mm.
They recently started to shoot in Germany as well, in German. But unfortunately, not with actors. They ask for influencers with a special amount of followers.
Sounds about
And
right.
I just posted a story regarding this and said, I guess you don't want to have success. But anyway,
You are a savage. I love it.
why I should put everything in cotton wool and be always holding back what I'm thinking. It's not always nice what you say, and sometimes the truth hurts.
Mhm.
And even if someone is so direct with me, it's hurt me too. But I prefer something like that more than if someone wouldn't say something, just shut up and don't say something and go. Just let me know what's wrong. And
Listen, I got fired from damn near every single job I've ever worked, and every time I would go in for the meeting to get fired, I'd tell them the same thing. I said I'd rather take one to the head than three to the chest. Just be
yeah,
direct and blunt, right?
and business like I always can behave myself, but
But that's not fun.
let's say it this way, in this one company we had something to do with the government of the city of Berlin. They were business partners of us, and this one guy, he came actually once a week to our office for a meeting, or all 2 weeks. And I opened the door of the company. He came in, he just said hi and walked through, and I said, hold on, who are you and what do you want? I know where I have to go. I said, hold on, you are here in our company. You are a guest, but I'm from the government. I said, I don't give a fuck. Sorry for my language. You can be glad that I didn't put you down on the floor because usually I'm a bouncer. And if someone is rude like that, I don't care who you are. I guess I have to beat that later. No, but hey, just be kind. Where's the problem to say, hey, my name is this and this, and I have an appointment with this person?
100%. Just treat everyone like a human.
It's the same. Externals is planning a meeting. For example, there are 3 people, and for example, I would plan a meeting at your house and say you all can come to his house. I'm not the person who should be in the position to say that. It's your house.
Mhm.
No, but anyway, now we will see where it's going here in Germany because I hope they will start shooting verticals here. And sure, for the German citizen, it's great that they're doing it in German. But if they want to have more success, they should do it in English. Because
Cool.
if it's international, you have so much more viewers all over the world.
There is
And
something to say about keeping it local. I think that's also really cool that you have region specific verticals. I think that's pretty cool as well.
I mean, I like it that you have stories which are shot all over the world because you have somehow the influence of each culture. And this is great to see. A lot of verticals in the States, they're just translating the Chinese verticals and have still the cultural stuff from China in it. The CEO is entering the room and everyone is bowing down. It's not happening in the western part of the world. And those are small things which can be adjusted. And that's where we come now to the Ukrainian verticals. I don't know, did you hear about it? Or maybe did you watch already a Ukrainian vertical?
No, I'm so afraid of getting hooked on the apps that I try to avoid watching them, but they do come across me every once in a while. I
So,
will get hooked. I get hooked on things like that, so I can't. I got to stay away.
oh, that's good to know that you are get captivated. We all.
Oh yeah. My roommate and I, well, my roommate wanted to watch when I was in, and we did. And I was like, oh, I see why everyone loves these. I'm hooked. And I shot it. I know what's gonna happen. And I'm still
Yeah, these verticals get us all in some way.
they've figured out the system to keep you involved, which is I love.
Yes. Since you didn't hear anything or didn't watch any Ukrainian verticals, I can maybe tell you something about it. For example, in Ukraine, the stories are not bought, for example, from China or somewhere else. They are mostly originals written in Ukraine.
Nice. That's cool.
Sure, you can develop the real news. You have vampires, werewolves, billionaire CEO, whatever, or mafia bosses. But the storylines itself is unique. Slowly, unfortunately, they start to doing some knockoffs. They just changing a little bit, but still only the Ukrainian stories. But the huge difference is, for example, in America, I just say America now because mostly of the verticals are shot there, beside China, but in the English-speaking sector. And you have there a lot of banquet scenes, slapping marathons, humiliation, bullying, and violence, especially against females. And you don't see that. Some things you don't see at all in Ukrainian verticals, and some of them, some points of them, you see it, but in a okay way. I always say you can't keep the violence out of a movie at all if it's necessary for the storytelling, like a mafia
Yeah.
movie.
No, I think as long as it lends itself to story, I think
Yes.
damn near
And
anything can.
and I always say also, it's always okay if, for example, if a female is slapping a guy once, just because, for example, he's groping her without her permission, she can turn around and slap him.
I
Or
would
I
hope she.
would prefer the fist, but no, but a slap would be okay. It's necessary for the storyline.
Mhm.
But these unnecessary, I'm slapping myself because I feel guilty and you are nobody slap. Nah, we don't need that. And we don't have that in Ukraine. Yes, we had one and another vertical which been very violent, but it still had a lot of views because it was different to the rest of the shows which you can see from Ukraine. But usually Ukrainian verticals are published on the apps My Drama Shorts. Some are on Real Short, Drama Box, Good Short, Drama Wave, and Drama Pops.
So
But
many.
the main part are My Drama and Drama Shorts. And just because these two apps are actually Ukrainian apps, where they also publish American verticals, you can find it there too. But mostly it's more the Eastern European part. And they, how do you say it? I think even if this all stories are fictional, the Ukrainian verticals are, in my eyes, still a little bit more realistic. It's not always totally stupid. What never would happen like that. Sure, some things are the same like all over the world, and they, I guess, they're doing it such a good job because they just recently won last year a few awards. For
Right.
example, yep, they won at the Short Film Festival in LA. They won for one vertical from Ukraine the best drama. award,
Nice.
and another one was the audience favorite. My Drama became the favorite app of the year, or the and but not just with the Ukrainian verticals. There've been, I guess, 4 verticals in total been nominated at this event, and they had also some American verticals which are on My Drama, but also in at the Verticon. I don't know if you heard about it.
I've heard about Verticon. I was just getting my feet wet in the industry when I heard about it. So I'm
That was the
fingers
first.
crossed I get to come down next year.
It was the first ever convention in the vertical space where the fans could meet the vertical actors, producers, and so on. And they had the Hollywood Award, no, Vertical Hollywood Awards. And one of the verticals from Ukraine, in this case, was Chai Beauty and the Billionaire Beast, won the best foreign vertical.
Nice.
And they entered a few other competitions and they won there as well. They are actually on a good way, and it's
Sounds like I
great
gotta get
to
over
see.
to Ukraine.
That's why I'm doing this vertical voices. If I'm talking to someone out of the industry and they would be maybe interested, I can't promise anything. I'm not. I can't do
You're not a
magic.
GA, you're not just gonna snap your fingers and make it happen.
Unfortunately not, but I can try to connect you with, for example, Amo Pictures. But Amo Pictures, like I said, is one of the, well, it's actually the biggest production company in Ukraine. And they are not just shooting in Ukraine. Yes, most of their work is there, but they started last year to shoot in UK, USA, Canada, and Australia. So if you would get a job, for example, in Canada with them, the huge difference would be the whole crew are Ukrainians. I already talked, for example, to Tyler Crosby. He worked with Amo Pictures in LA. I guess in LA was it. And he said it was actually weird on the beginning, but actually it was great because he could focus. If he during the takes, he didn't understood what they were talking. So he wasn't in this position if they said, "Hey, give me the cable," that he grabbed the cable and passed it on. So he didn't care about what they were talking. He just could take care of his scripts and his lines, so he could stay focused. So it was in this case was actually good. But I like it a lot that they bring the influence all over the world to show what it is, how you're doing it. And many of the directors and crew members from Ukrainian verticals have their knowledge from normal TV shows and cinema movies from Ukraine. They are actually pretty well known with a cinematic way to film something, or the horizontal way, but they are doing such a great job. And what is the difference as well? Sure, they have some male directors, but mostly they have female directors. And the reason is actually pretty easy. Most males have to serve the country, so they are not available for that. And I like if a female director is there, especially you can see sometimes the difference if it's filmed out of the eye perspective of a woman or of a guy. But I like that. I like they doing really a good job. And I can tell you, there been a few actors from abroad who been in Kiev to shoot there. Mostly they were invited for one project. And while they've been there, they got asked, "Hey, want to do another one?" They immediately stayed there and shot another one. It's like a vertical, but also a mini movie. Some of them could be able to shoot in both sections. And all of them with who I talked about it, they said they loved it there and they would go back immediately. I also talked to Anton Skripets from Amo Pictures. He's the licensing and partnership executive. He's responsible for selling all the finished stories to the apps. And I asked him, is it hard to get actors from abroad? And he said, it's a little bit tricky because, sure, most of them are afraid to go there because it's a war zone. It's dangerous.
How many times do you get an opportunity to go film in a war zone?
Yes, and
That'd be a wicked.
He also said it looks mostly more dangerous than it is.
I'm sure
It's still dangerous, but they taking care of the actors, and They are having hotels which is in the center of Kiev, which have also have a shelter directly nearby. They offering always something like an acting manager, not a manager in the normal way. I'm talking about people who are taking care of these actors while they are in Kiev. If they need to see the city, they are there for them, or they just taking care of them. And they get all the information they need if something happen, where they have to go, what they have to do, who they have to call, etc. They're taking care of that, and mostly the air raid alerts going off at night. Sure, sometimes during the day as well, but mostly at night. And in Kiev, you can't shoot all day and night long because they have curfew.
Mm.
Between midnight and 5 a.m., nobody is allowed to be outside.
Oh.
Unless you have a good reason, like you have to go to work or something like that. And but usually you are not allowed to be outside. And if they're having a overnight shooting, they staying at the location where they are shooting.
Interesting.
But you know yourself how or what kind of pace they have in the vertical space, how many days you are shooting, and so on. They have the same pace. But the difference is if there are air raid alerts during the day, and they have to decide, the whole crew have to go to a shelter, because they're not always going to a shelter. It depends on what threat it is.
Mm.
And if they're going to the shelter, you never know how long it takes. But they still have to finish the movie. And if they can't finish it, they have to reschedule it, because mostly it's with you guys, maybe sometimes too, they have back-to-back projects. And then they have to shoot the scenes which they couldn't shoot while they've been in the shelter. They have to reschedule it. But somehow they are making this. And what impressed me as well, if they have at night air raid alerts, the actors sometimes decide to go to the shelter and they barely sleep or don't sleep at all. But still, on the next morning, they are on set and they go on shooting.
That's the job. That is the job.
And I talked recently, a few weeks ago, to one of the actors who unfortunately have to serve his country now. And we talked a long time. I guess the whole interview is almost 2 hours long. Yep. But we couldn't cut something out because it was also important. We talked about what's going on in Ukraine because media don't show everything. We also talked about what happened that he have to serve the country because actually he got caught by the military recruitment and he had to go immediately to the trainings camp. And then he told me what's going on right now, and we had to upload those interviews on YouTube, and you have to be 18 plus because we talked about some subjects which it's not okay for everyone. He's working right now. Well, his unit is on one spot, and there's a surgeon with who he's sharing his room, and this surgeon is serving the country for over 3 years, and he had to kill a lot of enemies, not because he wanted to, but because of the desire to survive. That's a subject which we can't usually put in there. Or his brother had to go to the military service 2 months or 3 months before him, and he got hit by a drone. He lost a part of his calf, and the doctors, well, he had since 3 months over 20, 22, 23 surgeries, and they still don't know if they can keep the leg and stuff like that. And we talked about mental health issues, not just from soldiers and veterans, also from normal people like me. In this interview, I started talking about what keep me with the Ukrainian verticals. I didn't just fell in love with the Ukrainian verticals. I fell in love with the country, even if I never been there. But if I see the videos and pictures, it's such a beautiful country. And most of all, I fell in love with the Ukrainian people.
Great people.
Yes, very kind, very sweet, very lovable, and so full of life.
Mhm.
And I
Oh,
can tell you, I told you that I'm going through a very hard time. And since I lost my family, and I still have a huge family, but I don't have any contact to them, if I would have the opportunity, I would move to Kiev right about now.
really?
Somehow you can figure it out how passionate I am with this fandom, and
No, your passion resonates through. It's very obvious.
I can't hide it. And I don't wanna. And I don't wanna. No, but no, for real. And that's so important what I'm doing with the fandom. I show even those parts. And this is important that the community recognize that under which circumstances they are working there.
Especially over there, right?
Best example, over Christmas, they had 24 hours in a row non-stop going attacks. 24 hours in a row.
That's heartbreaking to hear.
No, it's really hard. And these actors even got invitations to shoot all over the world, but unfortunately they can't go. Ukrainian men are not allowed to leave the country unless I guess they are veterans, then they don't have to serve no more. They can leave because one of the actors, Nazar Graba, he just posted today a story that he were sitting on the airport of Dubai, but it was not his end destination. I guess he can leave because he's a veteran. And the ladies are allowed to leave. Another actress is right now in Sri Lanka on vacation, but the males are not allowed. So unfortunately, I know a lot of production companies and filmmakers from all over the world, they would love to invite them for shootings. Another good thing is many of them acting without are able to speak English. They do in the movies in English, but they only learn the scripts.
Yeah, when you
And
said that, I was so confused. I'm like, that seems harder to just like
yeah,
be writing words.
and most projects have a native speaker on set who helping out these actors to pronounce something correctly, or if they change something of the script, if they can improvise how they say it in a good way. You know, they have someone on set. And I see so many of these actors, they starting to learn because Amo Pictures, for example, if you are part of the Amo Picture agency, because they are not just the production company, they have their own actors agency, they have a casting agency. And if the actors are part of this, they're getting a lot of workshops. They recently talked to some very popular directors. What movie was it? It was a very popular movie. So they had over Zoom a workshop with this director, and they got more advice what they could do better and stuff. They have, I guess, once a week a English speaking club where they get together and speak only in English. And the leader of this is Hugh Hanley. He's actually originally from New Zealand/UK. He moved there 2.5 years ago, even if there was a war. He's an actor. So they training there. And I see a lot of these actors who learning English right now. And they doing good.
Good for them. I wish I could learn I've tried to learn second language. I am so useless.
Yeah,
Barely speaking because it is.
yeah, I must say I speak fluently English and for sure German as my mother language or mother tongue, but I'm trying to learn Ukrainian and it's so hard. I
Is it?
mean,
Yeah,
I'm said again?
I could imagine how difficult it is.
Yeah, especially since the letters are in Kirill. You know, if you would learn German, you still could read the words because the letters are the same, like in English, you know? But if it's in Kirill, it's totally different.
Yeah, that's like that's more like the Russian language, right?
They explained it to me. It's not really like Russian language. It's the Ukrainian language. It's more or have similarities more with, for example, Polish and other languages than Russian. But yeah, on a big view, you could maybe say it's kind of like that. But it's still the Ukrainians would say it's a totally different language.
I would assume that they wouldn't want to be linked to anything Russian at this point.
I don't know if I guess in school they even learned Russian as well, but you know how the situation is there, and I expect that totally. So, but it's pretty hard to learn the language, and since the area from where I am here in Germany, no matter if it's my originally hometown Berlin or now on the west side near Cologne, we don't roll the R if we talking. I can't do that. I have problems with that. The only thing which I learned so far it was Previt. I can do that in this way. But usually I can't do that. A friend of mine, she's an admin in my fandom. She's from Bavaria. She can do it perfectly, because of the region where she's from.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's very hard. I can read a lot, and but sometimes, it's so hard. I guess I will never say a whole sentence, or at least I can't do a conversation. Maybe I can learn a sentence, but I can't do a conversation. I'm 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 not good at something like that. It's the same like I learned English. In school, I had English, and I always said, "For what do I need English in my life?" Until I started to travel alone around the world, and I started to start to work. So that's how I needed it. And like I said, my ex-boyfriend was from Canada, and he didn't speak German, so I had to speak English. And my hobby, which I had until last year, I had a season ticket for an American football team in my area, which were playing in the European League of Football. And I'm talking really about American football, not soccer.
I call soccer football. I grew up with a Manchester United cousin, so it's that is football, and American football is football too. So
I always say the form of a soccer ball is just a wrong form. It's have to look like an egg. So no, but since I've been involved there and in this team where I been a season ticket holder, the whole team and the fans been on the same level. They been a really good big family. That means if here's a general manager, here's a head coach, here's a team, here is are the cheerleader, and here are the fans. So you don't have the leather.
mhm.
So if we had something to complain or had some tips, they always tried to change something. And if we met each other, we always hugged each other. So it was a huge, big family. And I had to speak English as well because the head coach was Jim Tom Sula, a former head coach of the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers. So they don't speak German. And there have been a few other coaches from the NFL as well. So that's how I went on. And sure, business-like. Like I said, I used to work in the construction business. And I was responsible, for example, in this one company for 1,000 to 1,100 employees of the subcontractors. And mostly the construction workers, they spoke sometimes German, but mostly not. And the management didn't spoke German if we had subcontractors from outside of Germany. So we had to speak English.
Yeah, it
Yep.
seems to be the language of business, right?
Yeah, and even if the grammar isn't always correct and the pronunciation either. I suck in that. But at least I can have a conversation like we do right now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I can't speak any other language. You got a leg up on me
I can
for what
teach
it's
you.
worth. For what it's worth.
If you want to learn German, you can always reach out.
Oh yeah.
I don't know for what do you need it, but anyway.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. Now, so would you go, for example, if you would get an offer or if you would see a casting call for a role, for example, in Ukraine, would you do that? Or
100%.
would you say
100%. I
if
live
there's,
my life. I live my life to tell stories when I'm older. So the crazier something seems to me, the more interested I am.
oh, good. I will forward your Instagram profile and your IMDb.
Lovely. God, you're so kind.
Oh, don't tell that anyone. They start to believing that.
Same with me. Yeah, you can't tell people I'm a good guy. They're not going to believe I'm a psycho on screen anymore.
Yeah. Now, I will try to forward it and what they are doing, we will see. And I will post you later on. I have something in my Instagram feed while, for example, Amo Pictures were looking for actors from abroad. They posted it originally on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is, by the way, a good platform as well because a lot of producers, directors, script writers, production companies are on LinkedIn.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And I can send you the link as well, what I was talking about, because they had a posting that they are searching for someone. And maybe if it's not Ukraine, maybe they can need you in the States or in Canada. You never
You never
know.
know. You never know.
Yeah, I just try to connect you guys, because even as a production company, if you are not so involved with all the actors from all over the world, and if you hear someone would maybe do that, maybe it helps. You never know.
Maybe, yeah, and everything, every little thing helps.
Yeah, sure. And we will see where it's going.
Where we end up, no one will know. That's the fun part of life.
Definitely, definitely. And I hope you will get a lot of more roles. And I definitely have to watch your verticals.
The next three, well, there's four actually. There's four that are still yet to be released that I'm really looking forward to them. So there's like a horror one, there's the rom-com, there's a mountain rescue one, and
Oh,
then one I just wrapped, which was actually like a really good kind of relationship drama. And
okay.
we had a lot of fun on that. I worked with Emma Prescott and Joshua Duncan, and I love those two. They have become some of my best friends now.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, and you see, I always can say you see if the chemistry on screen is good or not.
Oh,
Because
yeah, it is evident.
I
I
mean, I've seen some verticals where they, for example, the lead roles have to play a couple, no matter if it's a rom-com or enemy to lovers or whatever, or friends to lovers or whatever. You can see if there's zero chemistry. Because, I mean, many people say, yeah, but hey, the intimacy scene's looking good. I don't care about intimacy scenes. Which is more important is how they look at each other and you see the spark, you know? And if you don't see that at all, then it's unbelievable. And I mean, for example, I had once a vertical with Nevin Tomic and Alexa Reddy, where I said she didn't fit in this role, and I adore her for all other roles she have, but there wasn't there wasn't any chemistry between them. And sometimes I wish you guys would have upfront at least a table read where the characters are supposed to be there, meet each other, and you can see if there's a connection or not.
Yeah, we it seems to be hit and miss. There's times where we do table reads, times where we don't. A lot of the times I'm usually like last person cast, so I don't typically get to know much until I hit set, but I mean I've been on a few of these where yeah, the leads don't necessarily click just to be as
Yeah, and like I
emotional.
said, just if they are looking at each other. This is so more intense than any other intimacy scene, for example, and
Well, you know what? The worst part is it can make it just can make the on-set experience a little bit kind of tense when you have people who are sharing the screen for 90% of the film and they like each other. I find it hilarious because I get to watch it from the sidelines. Well, I enjoyed it. I think it's entertaining. But then you hear from the audience and like, oh, you can tell they did not like each other.
yeah, yeah. Hold on. So no, and I think it's sometimes I guess a little bit different, well, difficult if what do you do if you got booked for a movie and you see it's no matter if it's the couple who's playing together, even the enemy and or the enemies with each other, you as a villain and the lead role, for example, you see if they can work with each other, even if they don't like each other, but you see if they can work with each other, and you see that you definitely can see that if you watching a vertical a little bit different than maybe most of the people, because I'm very detail oriented. I always can say if for example someone is drinking a glass of wine and you can see all over the glass the fingerprints, I'm getting a crisis. And I said,
You're looking at the littlest things, hey?
yeah. And I
Love that.
mean, my glasses. You can
Mhm.
see yourself right now. And if you have something like that in a vertical too, and even in the Ukrainian vertical, it's happened. One of the actors had sunglasses on, which where the glasses are mirrors, and they were sitting in the car, and he looked over to the guy who were sitting beside him, and you could see the cameraman in the glasses. I see.
Can't let that happen. No, they can't do that.
Yeah, or in one episode, you have a full glass. and then they switching to the next episode and the glass is empty.
Okay, I have a funny story. I have a funny story. I was
Oh,
on one set.
let's hear.
I was on one set and there was a breakfast scene and we only had so much of the food to use as props. And a couple of the guys in that scene were just eating in between takes. I haven't seen that one yet because I don't think it's out, but I can't wait for that scene because you're gonna just see this food deplete over the scene. And like all of the crew was losing they're like, what are they doing? They can't be eating them. And it was cold food, like it wasn't good food. So I was looking up, what are you doing? We have a craft service table. You don't need to eat the props, man.
Yeah, but they have to stand up and go over there.
Right? Wow, look,
It was more easy.
I no comment on that. No comment.
No, yeah, that's funny. But it's also if they have in one scene they have a blue shirt on, and in the next one it's a red one. What?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
here's another funny story. We did one in the summer. I think it's called my husband's best friend claims me, something like that.
I
And
think I watched it. I'm not sure right now.
yeah, it was in the middle of the summer and it was smoking hot. So I was sweating through t-shirts like crazy. And there's a few short little moments in it where my arms are up and you just see a crazy pit stain, but then the
I
next scene, right like a second later, it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that in a few verticals, especially if they're having suits on, and you could see that. And yeah, I mean, you don't need much budget for that. That having someone on set who's taking care of those details, you know?
We had the wardrobe ladies with a hair dryer on standby to dry those shirts for me. I felt so bad. I felt terrible.
Oh, with hair dryers, do you know that what it reminds me? It's with ice hockey. If you finish with a game, all the gloves over the hair
Yeah,
dryers.
the big hair hand dryers. Yeah, yeah.
Oh Lord, and the smell in those cabins.
Oh,
Oh
that's the one thing I don't miss. I don't miss the smell of playing hockey. It stinks.
no. But it's the same with American football. I used to be a team manager in Berlin,
Oh, sports in general stink.
and now you have to figure out after the games, I took all the pants and jerseys with me home and cleaned it. So I had all the smell in my apartment.
Oh, oh,
No, thank you.
a lot of Febreze. That's the only thing I can say. A lot of mist.
Yeah. No, but still, those sports are amazing. I love them. No, but I think they should watch more out for those details. It's the same like in an intimacy scene. You see always a guy getting rid of his shirt, and then he immediately start having sex with a female lead and still have his pants on. He didn't even open the zipper. And I said, "Hey, that's magic. I don't know how he's doing it, but hey, I guess it's worked." And those are small details. You don't have to pull off the pants at all, and you don't have to get naked, but at least open the zipper.
Show us something that says you're about to have some sex, you know?
Yeah, I mean, hey, but you can say this is safer sex. If you are
I mean,
totally
the best
dressed,
sex is
it's
safe
safer sex.
sex, right? The best sex is safe sex, is what I've been told.
Oh Lord. No. And yeah, that's a different to European and American verticals, for example, too. The European verticals are, how do you say it? We Europeans are more open-minded, and you see sometimes more nudity than somewhere else, but they still film it in a beautiful, not dirty way.
That's the key, right? I've worked on a few where we've had to rewrite scripts a little bit just because some of the intimacy scenes are a bit too crude, so we change them up to be a little bit more artistic, and I appreciate that because I don't really like doing. I mean, I don't even really like taking my clothes off if I don't have to, but it is what it is. But yeah, if we can do it justice and it makes sense story-wise, like I'm pretty open to anything at that point.
Yeah, and I mean, I think there are so many ways how you can shoot something in a beautiful way without doing it in a bad way, in a dirty way, and so on. And not just intimacy scenes. I mean, in total, you can shoot something. It depends of the camera angle, I guess.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if you take care of the details.
The
It's
little
so
details.
important.
We need to work on the little I'm telling everybody I work with now. Little details, guys. Bianca's
Yeah.
Bianca's gonna be on our ass if we don't work on the
Yeah. Tell them I'm getting mad.
yeah. I'll say she knows Krav Maga. Don't screw around with her. She'll come fly over here and beat you up.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not gonna happening. I didn't met the billionaire CEO yet, so
Not yet.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Keyword is yes. The keyword is yet.
Yeah, but I guess no one will ring my doorbell, so it's not gonna happening.
I told Michaela, you just got to start walking around with stacks of paper and run into men and then just let them fly. And if they pick them up for you, that's your CEO billionaire right there.
That's a problem here in Germany. I was talking in the past few days to a few people that here in Germany, actually, let's say it this way. How do you say it in English? I like the old school behavior, and just small things. And many people, don't do it here no more. For example, you barely see that a guy is opening the car door for a woman.
Oh, no, that's not
Just
okay.
small things.
No, I will say the new generation of men seem to have lost the art of being a gentleman.
Yeah. And I just had right before our conversation, I had a conversation with one person from the audience, and she said, I'm so proud of my son and my daughter-in-law because they raised their sons so good. They are really true gentlemen.
We love to hear that. We love that.
Yeah, we need that. It's just like if you entering a room, just say hello. If you're leaving, just say goodbye. Just small things.
Little things. Yeah, you see someone coming behind you in the door, you hold the door a little bit longer. It's yes, things like please and
Or you're
thank you.
sitting in the bus and there's someone who needs actually more a seat like you. Just get your ass up and let the
Oh,
person sit.
preaching to the choir here, girl. I can't stand inconsiderate people.
Yeah. I mean, it's always like, what did my grandma always say, Bianca? You always have to respect the elders. And I always said they only receive a respect from me if I get a respect from them, because it's a giving and taking, not just
Mhm.
a taking. So it's just a normal thing. It's like many things in life, always give and take. It's not a one way.
No, and just because someone made it to 85 doesn't mean they're a good person.
Yeah.
The
I
bad
mean,
people lived a long time, you know? Like,
unfortunately, the villains rule more.
yeah, they're the ones who stick. The good die young, isn't that the saying? Like,
No, no, but we have to change that in the world. And if we change that, then maybe Michaela and myself will find our billionaire CEO. And actually, I don't need a billion. It's too much.
that's too much. Yeah, what are you gonna do with a billion?
Yeah.
Just give me like
Yeah.
50 mil. I don't even need 100, just like 50. I'll take
Yeah.
one. I'll take a million. How about that? I'll just take 1 million.
Yeah, actually, yes. I don't need to buy a mansion. I don't need to buy so many other things just to have a life, not to be afraid. Hey, how can I pay my bills this month? How I can get some food or whatever, or can I afford this new shirt or not? Just to live in peace regarding money. I don't need that much. I'm humble.
I'm not very materialistic either. So
Nah,
yeah, I would spend if I had the money, I'd just be spending it on everybody else. That's the that's the
that's
problem.
true. I guess if I mean, I don't play lottery, but Michaela always says she's playing a lottery, and if she wins, she will make a vertical. Yes, that would be cool.
She told me 17 million euros. The next one is.
Yep,
I
that's
said, yeah,
gonna
she
be.
doesn't. She doesn't. You guys don't need a CEO billionaire. You just need to win the lottery. That's.
But you spend mostly more money to playing the lottery than you ever will win.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Unfortunately,
guess I won once. We have here a zip code or postal code lottery, and I won because I had two tickets from it. So I won with each ticket 12 euros.
woo.
Yeah, I was rich. At least I had the money out for what I paid for it. So it's all good.
You broke even. That's all we can ask for.
No, but it's pretty hard to win something like that. And no, but for real, I think to get back to that, you don't need much budget for some things if you do it correctly and taking care of that. You can do it in a low budget way. I mean, I shot. Well, I've been involved in total in 4, 5 music videos. Yeah, to explain it, I answered once a comment, or I made a comment under a friend's Facebook account, and she wrote me and said, "Hey, I got a buddy. He's shooting music videos, and he wants you." I said, "Yeah, right. You know, I'm not an actress. No, no, that's fine. But he wants you in this one one music video." And I started talking to him and I said, "Okay, what genre is it?" And he said, "Oh, that's a cool genre. It's German gangster rap." I said, "Yeah, right. You know, I'm not 18 no more. I don't have boobs like that, and I'm not running around in my panties." So he said, "No, no, no, no. For this scene, we need an older woman." And said, "Thank you." I mean, at this point, I was 35. So, and he was right. For this scene, you couldn't take a younger woman because it was about a situation which we had in 2015 here in Cologne during New Year Eve. And here in Germany, they celebrating New Year's outside on the street sometimes. And there have been a lot of guys from North Africa who harassed and assaulted many females. And this was a part of the song. So I needed to stand there and be just discussed. So, and then we became friends. So the guy who's doing those music videos, and since he didn't live in Berlin and he shot with the same artist always in Berlin, yeah, how do you call it? Project assistant, production assistant, whatever, because I helped him to get all the equipment which he rented in Berlin. And somehow I always been the last female on set. And it's became a running gag that I had to go in front of the camera. Yep, that's happening. And we shot one song in winter. We had -degrees Celsius, and everyone had a thick jacket on, had a hat on, and gloves on. And then we had on set 2 females just in bikinis dancing on a pole. And no one of these guys on set ever thought about to have prepared the jackets of the ladies or having a blanket or whatever. None of them. So I took care of it.
Freezing their buns off then.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we were freezing so bad, and these ladies only had a bikini on.
They should
We
have put
had,
the guys in bikinis just to show them how terrible that would be.
yes, yes. I mean, it's not just that it's cold for the moment, but they could get really, really sick
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds terrible.
because it was an old in this industry building which was empty, but we shoot it in there, so it was cold in there. We missed the windows in there, so nothing were going on in this building no more. So it was really, really cold, and yeah, and this don't cost much, just details.
Details. Just the little details.
Yeah, but I talked a lot today. So do you want to know something else?
I mean, I'm still processing a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm just like I said, happy to be here. Happy that you reached out.
yeah, I'm happy too. And it was a pretty quick, yeah, conversation, and you booked the appointment really quick.
Well, like I said, I'm
Yes,
I'm
do it.
unemployed I'm unemployed this month, so I got to take advantage of anything I can do to keep myself busy right now.
Yeah, then I'm glad that I could help you.
All credit to you. All credit to you.
Yeah. Then actually, thank you for joining me, and talk to you
Pleasure was
soon.
all mine. The pleasure was all mine. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Bye.
it. Take care.